Good day mga kasopas, welcome back to another exciting math lesson. Today we'll be exploring the proving two triangle or congruent. So get ready to sharpen your minds and have some fun along the way. Let's learn and grow together.
Okay, after going through this video lesson, you are expected to identify condition for triangle congruence, use triangle congruence postulate and theorem to prove that two triangles are congruent, and recognize real-life application of congruent triangles. Okay, next. Okay, let's have first an activity. Match each figure in column A with the corresponding triangle congruence postulate in column B. So all we have to do here is choose the letter of the correct answer. So we have here three items here. The first item in the two triangle, we have two side and one included angle. So now, which letter is the best answer for it? Letter A, which is side, or letter B, which is side, angle, side, or letter C, which is angle, side, angle. So, based on the given figure, there are two side and one included angle that are congruent. So, the best answer is letter B, side, angle, side. Okay, next item number 1. As you can see in the two triangles, no, we have two angle and one included side. So, which is the best representation? Letter A ba, letter B ba, or letter C? Okay, based on the given figure in number 2, which has two angle and one included angle side? One included side pala. It is best representation by letter C. Angle, side, angle. Okay, next for number 3, what is the correct letter or the best answer for item number 3? Yes, letter A, which is side, side. Okay, that are congruence postulate SAS, ASA, and SSS. Okay, next, let us recall the condition under the congruence postulate. Two triangle are congruent. So first is SAS, or side angle side congruence postulate. Okay. SAS, if two side and an included angle of a one triangle are congruent to the corresponding two side and the included angle of another triangle, then the triangle are congruent. Next is ASA, or angle side angle congruence postulate. If two angles and included side of one triangle are congruent to the corresponding two angles and included side of another triangle, then the triangle are congruent by ASA. And the last one is SSS, or side congruence postulate. So SSS, if three sides of one triangle are congruent to the corresponding three sides of another triangle, then the triangle are congruent. That is a congruence postulate. So from this congruence postulate mentioned, other theorem can be deduced. So suppose you are given the measures of two angle and non-included side. Are this information sufficient to prove the congruence of two triangle? So let us proceed to AAS, or angle side congruence theorem. When we say AAS, if two angle and the non-included side of one triangle are congruent respectively to the two angle and non-included side of another triangle, then the two triangle are congruent. So based on the given figure, triangle DOG is congruent to triangle CAT. So all we have to do here, let us find the parts of a triangle that corresponds to another triangle. So let us first find the corresponding angle of angle D. What is corresponding angle of angle D? Yes, angle D is congruent to angle C by its marking. And angle G is correspond to angle T or congruent to angle T. And side DO congruent to side CA. So tells the congruence of the non-included side. That is AAS congruence theorem. Okay, another theorem that can be deduced from congruence postulate are the congruence of right triangle. So first is HYA or hypotenuse acute angle congruence theorem. When we say hypotenuse acute angle congruence theorem, if the two hypotenuse and an acute angle of one right triangle are congruent, the corresponding hypotenuse and an acute angle of another triangle, then the triangle are congruent. So, so when we say right triangle are congruent theorem, of course you must have two right triangles. So to prove that two right triangle are congruent by HYA, HYL, LA, or and LL. We need to identify the congruence parts of two right triangle. So, dapat ma-identify muna natin ang part nila bago natin masabing two right triangle are congruent. So, ano po ba ang congruent part of right triangle na sinasabi natin? Ito po ay ang hypotenuse acute angle, hypotenuse leg, leg acute angle, and leg congruence postulate. So, now let's identify the congruent part of hypotenuse acute angle. So, based on the given figure, a triangle RGA is congruent to triangle MSA. In hypotenuse acute angle, ang hahanapin natin dito ay hypotenuse and acute angle ng dalawang right triangle. So, in two right triangle, we have here hypotenuse which or side AR and side AM. So, side AR is congruent to side AM, no? By its marking. And angle RGA and angle MSA are congruent because they are right angle. So angle GAR is congruent to angle SAM because they are vertical angle. Using these congruent parts, the two right triangle are congruent uh, by hypotenuse acute angle congruence theorem. Okay, next, another theorem, hypotenuse leg congruence theorem. Hypotenuse leg congruence theorem, if the hypotenuse and a leg of one right triangle are congruent to the corresponding hypotenuse and a leg of another triangle, then the triangle are congruent. So again, this theorem can be applied to right triangle only, no? So based on the given figure, triangle USB is congruent to triangle ARC. So we have here side US and side AR. So side US is congruent to side AR. No? That is a leg of a right triangle. So and side UB and side AC are hypotenuse of a given right triangle. So therefore side US is congruent to side AR and side UB is congruent to side AC as marked. No? So the two right triangle are congruent by hypotenuse leg congruence postulate. Okay, next, another congruence theorem, LL or leg congruence theorem. When we say LL, if legs of one right triangle are congruent to the legs of another right triangle, then the triangle are congruent. So okay, so now a triangle BAG and triangle COP in the right triangle in this given figure at the left side. We have here side AB and side OC. Side AB and side OC are longer leg of two right triangle, no? And while side BG and side CP are shorter leg of two right triangles. So side AB is congruent to side OC. Side BG is congruent to side CP as marked. Therefore, we we can conclude that two legs of triangle BAG are congruent to two leg of triangle COP. So triangle BAG is congruent to triangle COP by LL congruence theorem. Now let us proceed how to prove the two right triangle are congruent and how do we prove that different triangle congruence theorem. Okay, here are the steps in proving the two triangle are congruent. Step in proving congruence of two triangle. The first step is identify what the given are and what is to be proved. Mark the given information on the diagram. And second step is identify the congruence theorem to be used and the additional information needed. So now let us apply the congruence postulate and theorem in proving congruent triangle using the illustrative example. Okay, next. In example number 2, prove that triangle REC is congruent to triangle CAR. So now all we have to do here is to apply the step to prove triangle are congruent. So first step, identify what the given are and what is to be proved. So now a triangle REC and triangle CAR, we have side RE is congruent to side CA. Side EC is congruent to side AR. Here's the given of two triangle. Okay, so now prove triangle REC is congruent to triangle CAR. After that, proceed to second step, which is identify the congruence theorem to be used and additional information needed and why. Okay, So, based on the given figure, since side CR, okay, side CR is the common side of triangle REC and triangle CAR, so by reflexive property, no? So therefore, triangle REC is congruent to triangle CAR by its SSS congruence postulate, no? So because each of the three sides of triangle REC is congruent respectively to the three side of triangle CAR. Okay, next another example how to prove triangle are congruent. So prove that triangle RAW is congruent to triangle RSD. In this figure, now let's define what the given are and what is to be proved. We have side AR is congruent to side SR and side WR is congruent to side DR. They are given at triangle RAW and RSD and prove triangle RAW is congruent to triangle RSD. So let us proceed to identify the congruence theorem to be used and the additional information needed and why. So in angle WRA and angle DRS are vertical angles, so they are congruent by vertical angle theorem or the definition of vertical angle theorem. So angle WRA is congruent to angle DRS by vertical angle theorem. So we are able to show the congruence of the two triangles using SAS congruence postulate. Okay, next, let us proceed to another example. In the right triangle at this given figure, a triangle RGA and triangle MSA. So all we have to do here again is to identify what the given are and what is to be proved. So as you can see at triangle RGA and triangle MSA, we have the given parts, which are side RA is congruent to side MA. Here's the given. Another given is angle G and angle S are right angle. Another given, no? So prove triangle RGA is congruent to triangle MSA. So next, let us identify the congruence theorem to be used and the additional information needed and why. So since we found the given, now let's look at the two right triangles since side RM intersect to side GS, vertical angle are formed and vertical angle form are congruent. So angle G and angle S, right angle theorem. So angle REG and angle MAS are vertical angle by definition of vertical angle theorem. So Triangle RGA is congruent to triangle MSA by its AAS congruence theorem. Therefore, RGA is congruent to MSA by AAS congruence theorem. No? So, okay, that's all for our discussion about proving two right triangle congruence. Now, answering this activity to assess what you have learned from this video lesson. First, in activity 1, all we have to do here is to using the given congruence parts statement, the postulate or theorem that prove triangle JAS and is congruent to triangle MIN. The second part of activity 1, give additional congruent parts needed to prove that triangle CAR is congruent to triangle TOY by the indicated postulate. And activity 2, fill me up. No? All we have to do here is complete the table.